Hey, heathens, you're listening to the Deadly Faith podcast where religion and crime collide. I'm Lola.
And I'm Lacey.
And this shit is inflammatory.
The mind that was in Jesus, that mind is in me.
Without me, life has no meaning.
Why would God tell you what I'm thinking and tell you what I've said to my wife or my husband when you're not around? It's because I'm the pastor of the church and I need to know.
This is the only place where you can see truth.
I feel like it goes really well because inflamed twin flames. Like, I did that on purpose.
Look at you. Puntastic.
I know. Well, before I get into trigger warnings, Lacey has a message from one of our sponsors.
Yes. Let's talk about Javy. You guys know that I love Javy. I live by Javy.
She's a coffee addict.
Javy is my life. I have a problem, but that's okay because it's a problem I love having, and that is Javy. I ran out of Javy the other day, and I had to order more. And I had been so busy with work that I had put my order in late. So there was about a week there where I did not have Javy. I was trying all these other coffee concentrates and cold brews and things like that from the store. I was so mad. It was all disgusting. And I was just waiting on pins and needles for my Javy order to show up. And when it did, heaven had arrived at my doorstep. Coffee concentrate from Javy is wonderful, guys. It helps you create beautiful and magnificently tasting coffee every single morning, and it's very quick. You just use a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons in your iced coffee. You can make hot coffee. You can do cold. You can do cappuccinos with milk and froth it. It's all delicious. We've had them all. We all love them, and they have so many wonderful flavors. Right now, I have sugar cookie, which is delicious. Also, they have this new vanilla cream one. Love that one. They used to have, I don't know if they still have it, but they had a brownie batter. That one I did not try because I'm not a chocolate coffee person, but I bet that one would be good because I've heard it smells like fresh baked brownies. So if you guys want some easy coffee mixing up to do in your mornings, make your mornings go by faster, get you some Javy concentrate. It makes your coffee morning effortless, okay? You can even use it in baking, all right? So Javy is made from high-quality, ethically sourced coffee beans, giving it an incredible taste every single time you use it. So again, say goodbye to long waits and hello to instant satisfaction. Whether you're at home, in the office, or on the go, Javy is the ideal solution for busy coffee lovers just like me. You guys know it. Don't wait. Click the link in the show notes and use code LACY33468 at checkout to enjoy 20% off your first purchase. Again, click the link in the show notes and use code LACY33468 at checkout to enjoy 20% off your purchase. Now back to the show.
All right. So trigger warnings are going to be coercion, abuse, suicide. And then I don't really know how to classify this, but queer and trans issues, I guess. It'll make more sense later. I'm just not really sure how to classify it.
So not necessarily homophobia or...
Technically, I guess, yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's just go ahead and call it homophobia, transphobia, things like that, because...
You always have the weird trigger warnings, and I always go back to bathroom kings, and I'm like, wait, what?
Stop. Okay? Stop.
That one will...
I had to warn you. I had to... Can you imagine if I had caught you off guard with that?
It still caught me off guard. There is no trigger warning that would prepare me for that unless you just straight out told me. I don't think there's a trigger warning for that episode that will adequately prepare you for what you hear. It's burned inside my brain. It lives rent-free, and it will until I die, unfortunately.
We got a lot of
Jeffrey
comments
Lundgren.
on that. Yeah. They were not ready. I wasn't either, okay?
I'm sorry, guys.
Moving on. So there's a Netflix documentary on this cult called Escaping Twin Flames Cult. And it's really good. A lot of the survivors are featured on it. And you get a lot of their firsthand testimony as to what they experienced. So I highly recommend watching that for more information because there is a lot here that I'm just not going to be able to touch on with their personal stories, which are very important. I just won't have time in our segment here.
Just so we're clear, I have not seen that documentary, and I have no idea about the twin flames cult besides it's somewhat relationship oriented.
Yeah, so
that's it.
Let me explain the twin flames because most people have probably heard of it. If you hear the term soulmate, twin flame goes
Yes.
along with it. It's a parallel kind of term. Twin flames is a concept similar to soulmate, someone you have a deep connection with spiritually. Oftentimes it's someone from a past life or someone made by the universe for you. This person complements you completely.
So it's
So-
meaning like you only have one.
This is your one
One
match.
and
There is
only.
no other one for you. I've also heard something different from, this was a person that like helped me with like some of my witchcraft, spirituality stuff. They
Yeah.
said that twin flames are someone that's actually supposed to challenge you. They're not like a soulmate, as in like absolutely complementary. They're a little bit not abrasive, but just that they challenge you in a good way to keep being better and like strive to meet your potential in life, something like that. So that's a different perspective, but just in general, what I just read to you was like off of Google. So
Gotcha.
that's just a general term for it.
Well, before we get into it,
Yeah.
do you believe in soulmates? Like your one and only true soulmate on the entire planet?
Planted.
No judgment.
I believe it's a possibility.
Okay.
Anything is possible, I guess. Personally, in my own experience, Andrew and I have known each other before
Right.
this life.
Mhm.
And I know that we will also be together in the next life. Like, I just inherently know that. Nothing about our relationship is just coincidental. It's very much like
Right.
the fates aligned in a
Yeah.
way that, like, this person from my past life is still meant to be with me because they compliment me so much, like protect me, encourage me. There's no one else for me because of that specifically, just the dynamic that I have with him.
Yeah.
And other people have similar stories to that. I think soulmate is very like subjective
Yeah.
too. What do
I
you
can see
think?
that.
Do
I
you?
don't know. I
I also
don't
think it's a choice though. It's an
Yeah.
active choice to make a
Right.
relationship work and to like choose love for that person.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's all like, oh, here's the puzzle pieces. They fit forever. And like,
Yeah.
that's just the way it goes. We're always evolving as people, individually, plus in relationships. So I don't
Right.
think it's so cookie cutter, the terms like soulmate or twin flame.
Right.
So
I lean away from it only because like I know couples who divorced amicably, but still like they love the relationship they had with their spouse prior, and they still love that person. They love the time, and they did at that time feel that they were deeply in love with this person.
yeah.
But as they grew and time happened and they evolved, the relationship evolved and they fell out of love. So I feel like saying there's like one specific soulmate for you, I think it invalidates a lot of people's relationships and feelings that they had with one
Exactly.
person when
Yeah.
they divorce and then find another person, especially in those amicable type situations. And so
Yeah.
I think fate has a way to connect the dots. You can call it fate, universe, whatever it is, to connect the dots in your life. And we still have to make the choices to help
Yeah.
fate and those things kind of align. For example, like my husband, I feel like it was fate that brought us together to meet, but I had to actively choose to leave the cult. But he was the piece that helped me like get out. And I love our marriage. I love who I've married and our life together. And I think he would say the same thing. I don't think we would say that we are each other's like one and only soulmate. Like if something was to happen to me and I died, I would definitely want him to move on.
And still have like a great love.
Yes, that would
For-
cherish my children and love my girls. Would I haunt him a couple times in his next life with this next one? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is probably my greatest achievement would be to be able to haunt him a couple times. Just let him know, like, I'm still here, bitch. And I hope he would haunt me too. And
Oh, I hope you haunt me. That's so sweet. Yeah. Okay.
all right, let's get into it.
The original twin flames couple, though,
Okay. Let's
of
hear
all
about
time,
them.
would have to be Shalia and Jeff Divine.
Shut your goddamn face right now.
That's not their actual last name. It's
I
actually,
didn't think so. Okay, thank you.
I forgot if you say it A-N or I-N. It's A-Y-A-N.
Oh, all
I
right.
feel like it's A-N.
Also, Shafian is such a very unique name, and then it's like, and Jeff.
Shalia and
Shalia,
Jeff
there you go. And
Ian.
Jeff.
Whatever. Anyway, so they come together and created Twin Flames Universe, which is what most of us will know as Twin Flames Cult. I have to preface this and say that I'm going off of testimonies of people who have spoken about their own experiences firsthand and things that I have like physically witnessed on the internet or heard directly from the sources, like from
Okay.
Jeff and Shalia,
Okay.
and from the courses that they offer. So at this
courses. Okay.
point, I just want you to know they have not been convicted of anything. They have not been arrested, nothing like that. So technically, they're doing everything legally, but
It's a gray line, guys. It's a gray line.
allegedly.
And that's what's hard is like cult
Yeah.
behavior. A lot of it can be done within the bounds of the law.
It's crazy that like there's not more put in place.
And
But like, what can you even put in place?
Like, how? Why are you going to
Because
put
it's
this place? How are you gonna
consensual,
control it?
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You willingly enter a cult.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time at least, unless you're a kid.
Yeah.
So anyway,
never mind. Keep going.
Twin Flames Universe. Let's talk about it. It's a community of people that are connecting openly. They are sharing their heartbreaks. They are talking about people that they couldn't get over or forget. People that are freshly divorced. It's a safe space for them to talk about this. A safe space to like heal yourself, learn to love yourself. It's about self-improvement. I just felt the red flag in your head go up a little bit with the
I
self-improvement.
actually feel like it was one of those things where like you hit the button and like three red flags,
Yeah.
like three flags pop up at the same time. That's what
Oh,
happened.
I
in
like
my
that
head.
noise you made.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hidden
So-
talent.
This is an open forum on Facebook at the
Oh.
time, like when it begins. It's
Okay.
an open forum there where you're able to like express your questions about like soulmates, twin flames, who you're destined to be with. You can express your hurt and your heartache there. And they also have some literature
Okay.
they begin. So the literature is available in all formats called Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover. It is on Amazon actively.
Shut your face. Can I go
Yeah.
look at it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Keep
It's not going
going.
to spoil anything. It's actually on the front of it is a picture of Jeff and Shalia.
Okay.
So they create this guide that's going to help you like pretty much find your path to your twin flame for the ultimate love connection, the deepest, like truest love, the best sex, like everything, spiritual connection, everything. So in the book, there's something that and I know that I'm like just jumping in and giving you a lot of information, but I will go back and give more detail as to how this all came about. I know I'm just jumping in head first. Just stay with me on it. So,
Wow. The book has 4.2 stars
yeah,
out of 5.
yeah.
It's a 3.9 on Goodreads.
Yep.
And on Amazon, they have 882 reviews. Jesus Christ.
So I'll tell you,
Okay.
most of the book, it seems like, is just a bunch of fluff talk that's just talking in circles about love and connection and like becoming the best self that you can in order to meet your twin flame and like match them fully. So
Okay.
they talk about something called the mirror exercise, which is going to be super jarring for both of us here.
Okay.
This is the one tool that will heal all the parts of you into loving yourself fully. This is the only thing you need. The only
Oh my
formula.
God. You're in front of a mirror naked, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, good guess. So it sounds okay until we get into the steps. So step 1, write a sentence about what is upsetting you. So what's something in general? Go ahead and just
Right now?
come up with something.
Does
Whatever.
it have to be relationship wise? Are we just
No,
saying
anything.
just in general?
Anything.
that's upsetting me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the kids at the school I taught out this week smelled like mold,
Okay.
and I can't get it out of my head.
Step 2, rewrite the sentence and switch the nouns to point towards yourself.
Wait.
So I am upset because I am a child that smells like mold. Yeah.
Okay.
The book.
Already not making sense, but sure.
And once you do that, then you're able to see that the problem is within yourself and that you need to just sit with that, accept that, and move on.
That doesn't work.
And if it doesn't work, go back to step 1. Write out the sentence again. And then step 2, rewrite it, switch the nouns to point towards yourself every time.
That does not fucking work. How
Say
is
more.
that going to fix the poor child who smells like mold?
Well, let me tell you, the book actually leads you to Twin Flames Ascension School, because if that doesn't give you all the answers with the one tool, if you're still struggling with it, maybe you're just not using the tool right, don't worry, the Ascension School can take care of that for you.
No, it's
going to give you the everything else that you need, all the other knowledge that you need. And such an affordable price. The prices begin at $200-ish a month for 12 classes. That's $2,000 total if you take a year's worth of classes.
Wow. That's pretty pricey. An Ascension school. Like,
Yeah.
I pay just a little bit more for community college each year for 2 classes.
And that's worth something.
That's highly worth something.
Yeah. So Jeff and Shalia are the people that are teaching the courses, and they guarantee that the completion of the classes will lead you to finding your twin flame. It's going to put you on the perfect path to find them and be with them.
Does this guarantee come with a refund if you don't? No. Well, that's not a guarantee then.
If you don't find your twin flame, you will use the mirror exercise. Oh, yeah. Lacey's face just dropped because she understands now that it's all manipulation. It's all you're the problem in the end.
Yes.
But that's not the case. These people were never the problem.
No.
Jeff and
it's a
Shalia
cycle.
are the problem.
They're like,
In my
oh,
opinion.
if this doesn't work, go back to the circle and just try this again. Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, just keep going. Keep going. And
Just
you're
keep
like
going in this loop until you go insane.
It's like
And
a
some of
hamster
them
on
did.
a wheel. I believe it. It's like a
Yeah.
hamster on a wheel. You're going nowhere.
Yeah.
You're going nowhere.
So people from all over the world start tuning into these classes online. And I visited the website, and I also took the Twin Flames test for you. You don't have to. You don't have to. I apparently have not met my twin flame.
Oh, fuck, Andrew. God damn. Sorry, bud.
It was the most generic, manipulative test that I've ever taken. It's a leading question every time. It's a leading question. Some of the generic questions, how important is it to have a healthy, committed relationship? Everyone is going to put yes there, or like a scale
Very
of 1 to
important.
10, 10.
Right.
Ideally, should marriage be forever? Yeah. I would think so.
Yeah.
Would you feel completely satisfied being married to someone who did not align with all of your core values? All is in all capital letters. So you see, it's so generic. It's like water is wet, bitch. Obviously. Like, what do you think this is?
Can I get that on a t-shirt, please?
Yeah. Water is wet, bitch. So it's just the most generic test that's always going to tell you that with courses, you will be able to discover your twin flame. You have not yet met them. If you have, you're not fully aligned and you need to do the mirror thing and you need to take courses to learn. It's not.
AKA, you suck. Give us your money so we can fix you, even though you're really not broken.
Yeah. So let me give you some background on the people that have created these courses and did this whole mirror exercise thing, created all of this mess.
Okay.
So Jeff, he's from Michigan. He was raised by a Catholic family. He was a very business-driven guy. He admired Warren Buffett and like most of all his, like, he's just very into the business idols. He's into, what? Are you trying to think of who Warren Buffett is?
Yes, and I thought, isn't that a singer?
Oh, you're thinking of Jimmy Buffett. Stop. Okay.
I fixed it in my head though. I was like,
Thank
wait,
you.
who's okay?
I could
Sorry.
see the question marks in your pupils.
You saw the wheels a turning.
Mm-hmm. I said that whole sentence wrong. So he admired Warren Buffett most out of all of his business idols.
Oh, okay.
That was
okay.
it. Sorry.
So he had a whole list of them, but Warren.
Yes.
Warren
He
Buffett.
had a very strong social media presence at a young age. He would market himself as a carefree adventurer, entrepreneur. Like he's giving, what is this guy's name? Gabby Petito, the guy who did that to her.
Oh, her
What is
spouse.
his name?
I
Or
don't know.
boyfriend. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like
I
that
can't think of his name.
adventurer, I know more than you.
Oh,
Whatever.
yes.
Very
yes,
much
yes.
that kind of vibe off of
How
his.
old is he?
Jeff?
Yeah.
At this point, when I'm looking at like with his like beginning to market himself, he's like fresh out of college. So early 20s.
Okay. And what
Yeah.
year is this? Like, what are we talking about?
So right now, I guess we're in 2012 because his
Damn.
online name back then is Ender Ionisos. Ionisos?
Ionitos. Yeah, that song.
Yeah. He just went by Ender.
Ender.
That's what people call him.
I'm just shocked that to have such a strong social media presence.
Back in 2012, yeah.
Bitch and Instagram.
Well, he wanted to be like a lifestyle guru. That was his thing. And
Tracks.
of course, the fates would align that the boho businessman meets the hippie woo-woo weird girl. So he meets Shalia online. And this is from the mouths of these people. I'm not putting words in their mouths, okay?
Okay.
Their first time messaging, Shalia said, I DM'd him and said, you horny. They continued talking that night. And by the end of the conversation, Jeff says, I asked her to marry me.
Whoa.
One night.
And I thought my relationship was fast as a young evangelical Christian. They beat me. Congratulations.
So Shalia is actually not her real name. Her real name is Megan Plant, and she was raised in Canada by her Catholic family. And as an adult, she practiced meditation, tarot readings, Reiki. That's it. Sorry.
Reiki.
And she's just into like all the spiritual things. The woo-woo.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Just take woo-woo too far.
Sure.
Just like you
and
can
they
take
did.
Christianity or Hinduism or
Anything.
whatever.
You can take anything too far. So Shalia introduced Jeff to a lot of her spiritual practices and like oracles, stuff like that. And so he's like delving deeper into the spiritual side of things now. He's a businessman, but he's more so leaning towards everything Shalia's into. After the couple get married very quickly,
Not shocked.
within a matter of weeks, they don't start out with the Twin Flames universe. So this wasn't like a overnight sensation kind of thing.
Yeah.
They began a couple of websites where they offered services for tarot readings, spiritual healing for physical ailments such as cancer, stroke, heart attack, etc.
Punch me in the goddamn face.
I won't do that, but they might. Over time, the couple believes that they have reached the ultimate harmonious union.
I just saw lights go.
Yeah.
When you do that.
So they believe that they are twin flames and that they have reached like the peak of enlightenment in love in their relationship. Like they discovered it. This is it.
Oh my gosh.
And they're
it's
the first to ever.
gospel. Share it.
Yeah.
Scream it from the mountaintops, baby.
And they say because of this, they now have the divine gift. Yeah. They have the divine gift to see and confirm other people's twin flames. And they are the only ones with this ability.
Oh, you just went straight cult territory.
I mean,
straight on.
Combine, okay, cults are money systems anyway, just
right.
as a backbone to the whole structure.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting off with businessman meets woo-woo girl. He sees that it's something people are really interested in. Obviously, he's going to be like, oh, I can make money off that. Oh, I can manipulate
I'm
that.
gonna
So like,
capitalize the situation.
yeah,
Yep.
for sure. So the
Mm.
permanent harmonious union with your lover helps you level up spiritually and release control so you're closer to God.
Okay,
That's his whole thing.
when people use that phrase of like level up, I'm gonna level up.
Level
All
up.
all I see is like Mario and Luigi, like
Yes,
like,
with the coins
in the
and
video
the
games.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
that's literally all I hear.
No, same. I also visualize that as well.
Yeah, that's all I
Yeah.
see.
Or like Mappy when it says level up in the middle of the screen.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you reach this like peak of spirituality, you're so close to God that you now have spiritual gifts. And so you're able to also like identify people's twin flames and whatever.
Oh, okay. So you can reach the same level that they are at.
Only if you reach the perfect harmonious, what is it? Harmonious union. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Sorry. It's too funny. So they help you get to your twin flame like in the same space. They'll like channel the twin flame and they'll do it as a calling in ritual.
Oh.
So they'll literally like the calling in ritual is where like the group will gather hands and recite mantras, calling for the person to come into the awaiting flames life. And in the following days, if a stranger appears in your life, they're possibly your twin flame. This is so demented.
This is like when I was a Christian, I would have looked at this and be like, that's a fucking seance and you're doing witchcraft.
For sure. But they do tarot shit and everything.
Yeah.
They're combining a lot of pagan and Christian practices together, which inherently is not like a bad thing.
Yeah.
But
it's very
in this way, saying that you are the only
manipulative.
one with this, you are in full control. It just,
it's different. I feel like, okay.
And profiting off of it as well.
It's like, I don't know, like writing future spouse on a leaf and burning it or whatever. I don't know any witchy shit, but then like you're putting that out into the universe. You're like putting out the good vibes, whatever that is. Like there's nothing inherently harmful with that. Like it's not harming you. It's not harming anyone. It gives you hope. It can actually be healthy. But in this situation, it's very manipulative and
it sets expectations that are unrealistic for a long-term healthy relationship because you can't expect to like, I'm in a grocery store and a person is standing 5 feet from me. Obviously, they're the one.
Yeah, it takes you straight out of reality.
Logical thinking is gone.
Yes.
Gone.
And when you're getting into a relationship with somebody, like you need to have reality in check. Funny story. Can I tell this really quick?
Sure.
When I first met my husband, there was this girl that like, I'm so sorry. This girl, if she ever listens to this, I'm sorry. I hope you've grown, but we still laugh about this because, but the poor child, she was so upset when she found out that we were dating. And she was like, she tried to take me out to dinner and told me all the drama and like all this stuff, like told me everything about his family and
that's right.
Everything. Yeah.
I remember you telling me this.
And then I knew a lot about my husband's life prior to us like actually like ever meeting and sitting down and having conversations. And when he found out that this girl had told me everything, he was pissed. And it didn't change my opinion of them. Like I was like, wow, I saw what she was trying to do. She was trying to cause division because she liked him.
Yeah.
And so
she
when
wanted
we
to say
started
he's too broken for you, but I can fix him. No, really, I can.
So when we started dating, she was really hurt and she called me and she was like, I cannot believe that you would do this. And I straight up was like, girl, you guys kissed one time.
So one-off deal.
And the moment they kissed, she was like, here's my heart. Marry me. I'll have your babies.
Yeah.
And I will be your sex kit. Like that's the
gun.
Yeah. She was just like all about that with every guy that ever was around. And I'm like, that is not reality. And that's what this is giving is like, I'm going to just look at you and be like, oh my God, marry me. I'm going to fall off the deep end.
I think you're cute. You're the one.
Yeah. Instead of like, whoa, honey, pump those brakes.
Hey, and sometimes, you can think someone's cute and then like get to know them and then decide from there. But like not a one-off, hello, you're my twin flame. It's time for us to go to the courthouse.
Yeah, don't start your conversation with "you horny" and "will you marry me" at the end. Like, it's just that
It's
let's
maybe
not have that
not.
conversation.
Maybe not.
I'm gonna say that's not healthy. Just gonna
I
go
don't
out on a
think so.
limb here.
So these people, remember, everyone that's like in this forum, in this school, whatever, they are coming from a broken place. They are
Yes.
divorced. They are experiencing heartache. They're looking for something greater in life. They're looking for
Yeah.
their ultimate love. These are people that have had really shitty love lives, that have had like really abusive partners before. And
Yeah.
so like the most vulnerable people, because like
Oh, that sucks.
we all want love. That's
Yeah.
just the bottom line. We all want to experience that. None of us really want to be lonely, you know?
It's natural, like
we
biologically
want
ingrained in
companionship
us. Yeah.
in some way, whether that's sexual or not, whatever. But
Mhm.
we want someone to be on our team
Mm.
and love us for who we are, see us for who we really are, a fully reciprocated love.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why people are falling into this trap and willing to give money to it if there's a guarantee for a payoff, like Shalia and Jeff. They see that
Yeah.
their relationship is working. They're successful. They have money. They seem to like be really in love and have a great sex life and be really spiritually sound. This all just, it's paving like a really nice paper trail
Yeah.
over the spikes.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
If you do X, Y, and Z, you can have what we have.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So once Shalia and Jeff confirm your twin flame and they get you together, they will expect you to begin posting all the highlights of your relationship on the forum, on the school's like website. They want you to market your relationship as a success story for Twin Flames Universe. So tell your love story here, because Jeff and Shalia made it all possible. Which is just weird to take credit for someone else's relationship that they have to work through.
Right.
Anyway, so what do I know? And as a wedding gift too, Jeff and Shalia will start like GoFundMes where people can donate to the couple. Not them, mind you, but other
No,
people.
I know that. It's still, why though? I'm very confused.
It's almost sweet because like you do have friends in the community and it's like you all live far away probably.
Okay.
So it makes sense, like,
because it's all online.
For like a wedding shower kind of thing. Like, it doesn't seem so bad, but kind of scummy.
It
Kinda
feels icky.
scummy.
I'm like,
Yeah.
just put your Venmo up. Well, I know this Venmo wasn't back there,
Yeah.
but PayPal was there.
And
PayPal us some money.
here's why it is. So behind closed doors, the money isn't actually the couple's freely. So it is yours, but there are rules to it. Jeff and Shalia will decide how every cent is spent, down to the curtains.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget a wish list on Amazon. They'll decide
Yeah.
it for you.
Yeah. And they want the money to come to them. Or I don't know if the money goes to them, but
they have control over it because they started the GoFundMe account.
Right.
So they are the ones that are like divvying out the money to the
Yeah.
couples.
It's weird.
The successful couples that are getting married or like moving in together, mind you, some of them are really not working out.
Shut up. Really?
As in like,
I'm shooketh.
it's actually really fucking sad. So like one person on the documentary, she talks about they did the calling in ritual and she found her twin flame and he had a really bad like criminal record and he was very abusive to her.
Oh.
In like every way you can think of. And they kept telling her, do the mirror exercise. She was asking them for help. She was like, I am literally like, I'm losing my mind over here. And they're like, yeah, it's just, you don't love yourself enough. You need to try harder. You need to just do the mirror exercise. So she stayed with this person and suffered for too long.
Yeah.
Too long.
Oh, that makes me so angry.
And she put her full faith in these people because she trusted them. She built rapport with them. She worked for them. And she's not the only one that it happened to. There were lots of like toxic couples that were brought together because Jeff and Shalia would say, go be with this person, even to the point, I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later.
That makes me so mad. Like, I
Yeah.
am viscerally angry.
My face is heating up. It's pink.
I can
Not,
see it.
yeah. It makes me very upset for her because she was very, very young.
It reminds me of like a Christian couple who the wife's being beaten and she goes to the pastor and the
Just
pastor
pray about
says, just pray about it. Or, you know,
Just read your Bible more.
just ask God to change his heart, to soften his hardened heart. You know, it's like, oh,
For sure.
fuck up.
Yeah. So the couples that are together, they're not really successful, but we'll just say the successful couples that are now together and have reached harmonious union, they now can they now can cult.
They can start their own cults.
They can coach or consult other people on how to achieve what they've achieved.
Okay.
So they are now working for Twin Flames Universe.
It's giving Nexium.
Thank you for saying that. That'll come up later.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah. So Jeff and Shalia are promising that coaching can be a career to get you to six figures. You make commissions off of the coaching sessions that you do, the classes you teach, whatever.
Oh my God. CM and MLMs all together in one.
And the thing is, you don't really have to be super qualified for the coaching sessions. The only thing that you use is the mirror exercise. This is the only tool that you use. So you work with them on how to use the mirror exercise.
The most flawed mirror exercise ever known to mankind that every therapist will say, that is garbage.
For sure. It's
just a
not,
piece of
no one should ever
garbage.
use it in any way ever. And the coaching sessions, the whole structure, it's set up real nice. It's in tiers. So at the top, you got Shalia and Jeff. And then below that, you have a bigger group that's called the Master Certified Ascension Coaches. And the biggest group at the bottom are the Certified Ascension Coaches, which just makes a real nice shape, a triangle, a pyramid scheme.
I knew it. I told you. I said it. It's a pyramid.
That's all it is. So the first, I'm going to call it TFAS. It's Twin Flames Ascension, whatever.
Okay.
So the first TFAS in-person meeting. So everyone in-person meeting happens in 2018 in New York. About 50 people from across the globe show up. So it's not just people in the US.
Yeah. Great. Because social media, far-reaching.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was a success, and it solidified these online connections because you're now putting an actual person to the name that you see on the forums, and on the classes and the coaching stuff, and you become friends with these people, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not just Jeff and Shalia that they're connecting with and seeing them in real life teach and inspire people. They're also meeting really great people all around that are experiencing the same hardships that they are. So
I can only imagine that this is all online, right? It's not in person for the most part. If this person is part of the group and they are doing all the things to find their twin flame, okay? Yeah. They're not finding a twin flame in the group. Their twin flame is coming from outside this practice.
Get to that.
I'm talking about very beginning. With that
very beginning,
on, that's how this is happening, right?
Yeah.
So I can only imagine if these people are that desperate and they're like, oh, I saw a guy in the coffee shop. He must be my twin flame. And they get married. The only people I can see of that would be down DTF or DTM, down to marry, in that kind of situation would be somebody who's looking to manipulate and they see a vulnerable person that they can manipulate and control.
For sure.
And so I feel like for the most part, their statistics for their numbers would have probably been astronomically high in abusive relationships.
It's almost 100%, allegedly.
That's what I would say, in my opinion.
So Jeff and Shalia, they're invested in the couples. And the group as a whole, they actually call them their soul family. And they ask you to call them your soul family. Your real and only family is them. And this appeals to an even wider audience. So if you were queer, different, rejected in any way, you're family here. It's an inclusive environment from how it's marketed. And if you associate with people that are like outside of the soul family, that's considered an energy leak. And if you have an energy leak, you can't fully resonate with your twin flame or soul family. So
I hate this so much. I am getting triggered.
So Jeff actually says all of this with total conviction. And he actually says, this is in a deleted YouTube video, but we do have
copy.
Yeah, but the internet's forever, guys. In the deleted YouTube video, he says that he has the most authority of all time over everyone. So his word goes when it comes to the soul family and twin flame universe. Yeah.
I don't like this.
So let's say that you start your twin flame journey.
Okay.
It's all very fast, as you can see. They want you to move fast. Seek that person out, kiss them, touch them, move in with them, marry them, and tell us every detail. Even so far as your ex is your twin flame. That one that beat you half to death, go back to him. That's the one. You just needed to fix some things in you. You just needed the mirror exercise, and they did too. You both had to do it.
Oh my God.
You only ever have one twin flame. Don't let anything get in the way of being with your love and making it work. Don't let yourself get in the way, another person, the law, your blood family, nothing. Anything goes. If they have a restraining order against you, at all costs, still get to them. This did happen to one person in the documentary too.
That they were sought out because...
No, they sought someone out. They were told they worked for Twin Flames universe and were told specifically by Jeff and Shalia, you must seek out this person or you're not going to be like a complete twin flame ever. You must be with this person. Must. Even if they don't want anything to do with you.
And this person put up a restraining order?
They did.
Against them?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Use whatever means necessary to get your twin flame with you. Jeff says, manipulate a sexual situation to get to them. Pursue it at all costs. If you don't pursue...
Manipulate a sexual situation.
I have something worse that's about to come out. So Jeff says, if you don't pursue your twin flame, if you don't pursue them, you're a twin flame pussy. But you should be honey badgers of love. Which I know nothing about honey badgers. Andrew had to explain to me that they're really aggressive.
Oh,
so
God. Okay, so they call this up and coming generation the high schoolers right now, right? And like even younger. One of the nicknames for them on TikTok is the honey badger generation.
Is it?
Yes, because they are like crazy aggressive. Who was it? It was like some right wing speaker tried to come to a university and they like hackled him until everybody just got up and walked out of the arena, and they wouldn't let him speak. So yeah, honey, but also that's disgusting. Also, a pussy, they take a fucking beating. So like pussies are fucking strong. So pussies aren't weak. I'm just gonna put that out there. They take a beating and then they can like stretch to magnificent.
That's very true.
Things and push out babies. So like, if you're going to say something's weak, be a ball, because ball sacks are fucking sensitive. And
it's really misogynistic. Like the whole,
yeah,
you're a pussy, whatever.
Yeah. I'd rather be a pussy than a sensitive ball sack.
This isn't the only time that he's misogynistic or that this whole thing is misogynistic. Jeff says that if she, because it's always the female flame, if she nags you or complains or tells you what to do, that's just her being a woman and being feminine. The men are in charge and dominant, and that's just females.
And he needs to go have anal sex with a cactus.
Noted.
Just saying.
Okay, so before I talked about like Jeff and Shalia, they talk about like how their sex life is great. Twin flame sex is supposed to be like the best in the whole world, no matter what. It heals parts of you that are blocked. And twin flames have great sex all the time. If not, there's a problem.
Oh, and who's the problem with?
Men should have sex every day. If the
Oh.
man wants sex, the women must comply. Women cannot say no. And if you feel upset about having to have sex with your man, do the mirror exercise and heal yourself. Love yourself better, is what Jeff says.
Okay. A couple years ago, I told Lola this.
Mhm.
My husband and I tried to do the, what was it, 10-day
Oh,
challenge?
gosh.
10-day sex challenge?
Don't do
Where
that.
we had sex every
God.
day. By
Exhausting.
day 5, we both were like, what the fuck? And I'm like, my vagina's chafed.
Don't touch
Like,
me right now.
this
I'm
hurts. Like, day
Yeah.
after day of sex. And it got to the point where we're like, this feels like a chore. Like, this does not feel fun at all whatsoever.
I feel like that can't be healthy. Like, not to say it's wrong if it's going great for you and you're like feeling fine physically.
Right. But to say this
That's
is something that
fine.
like everyone needs to do.
It's not a standard blanket thing that we should always say to people. So, but Jeff promised the men flames that they would get all the sexual pleasure that they desired anytime, anywhere, anytime.
Ew.
Here's something. They create all the websites. They're like entrepreneurs when it comes to all the spiritual and divine stuff. Well, they decided for the ones that were still having sexual issues,
Okay.
they created Divine Dish, a meal plan for anyone struggling sexually or for overall wellness with foods and meals that would help break that block. They are not nutritionists, dietitians, or doctors. Okay?
I'm so confused. Let's put that fact to the side.
Okay.
How is food healing sexual issue?
Desire and like
Why?
health. Yeah.
These two dots are on different playing fields.
Say
How
more.
are they connecting? I'm
So
very
you
confused.
buy the recipes for a price and you get the ingredients and you follow the recipe. It is heavy carb and red meat and you must eat it all. And this caused a lot of members to gain massive amounts of weight and experience health issues. So I'm not going to speak any more on that because it's just a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
But bottom line, they aren't dietitians or nutritionists. This is just not something that they should have marketed as an overall wellness and sexual healing type thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's just wrong. So
They Brittany donned that shit.
they did. They also created the Divine Masculine and Feminine courses in Twin Flames universe, which dives into sexuality. I'll give you the rundown so you don't have to go look at it. It's a course that tells attendees which gender they should be and what sexual orientation they should be. So remember, before, we're all-inclusive. Come as you are.
I was just about to ask.
They have trans people in there. They have queer people in there, okay? One member, whose name is Angie, she's in the documentary.
Mhm.
Her twin flame they selected was actually gay. She was a straight woman. He is a gay man. So that didn't work.
No.
And he was not interested in her. And they told Angie, it's
Actually, I wonder why.
because you're not feminine enough. You're taking away his masculinity.
No, she's not
You can-
masculine enough because
Uh-huh.
she doesn't have a penis.
Yeah, so true. But with classes, you can become more feminine. It didn't happen. It didn't work. Nothing. A long story short, they actually decided, you are a masculine. You are supposed to be the masculine one in a lesbian relationship, and you will transition to become a male.
I'm fucking sorry.
I can't make this up. I cannot make this up.
Okay, so he is going to be actively misogynistic and say that the men are like the head of the relationship. What they say goes. They want all this sex, while also at the same time making somebody transition
That
their
does
own
not want to. It's not
gender.
true to them. It's not anything. It's not who they are. Like, it's a deeply personal thing. You cannot force someone to transition, and you can't choose their gender or sexuality for them. But he can, because apparently he has the mouth of God.
I
Apparently.
have no words.
Well,
Did
I have
this
more.
person transition?
So she did not. She didn't have surgery or anything, but they did encourage a lot of their members to have surgery. Some of them did.
No.
Some of them did.
No.
Some of them are still in the cult to this day, so I can't speak anymore on that. I don't know at this point if it was necessarily considered a consensual thing. So moving on from that, Angie did end up like dressing more masculine, and like she cut all her hair off, and she really did try to make herself more masculine because she was buying into it. But she was feeling uncomfortable and seeing the cracks in the foundation. So it was at this point that she was starting to back away from them and rebel.
Hallelujah.
So she didn't end up like transitioning or anything. And spoiler alert, she's doing good. She's doing her
Great.
best.
Love that.
She's made some amends with some people that had coached her in the cult, which was a really big step.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, with the classes, the divine, masculine, and feminine, if you bring up issues or don't answer something correctly, or you don't believe everything they're saying, you'll be shunned or humiliated or called a liar. And if you're an employee, which most of them are employees, once you join, you just automatically, like, once you start leveling up, they're like, oh, you want to be a coach? And at this point, no, I'll get into money later.
Okay.
It's so much. So yeah, if you work for them, you can be demoted or fired or blocked from all socials or all of the above.
Okay.
And Jeff would take out his like frustration and anger on Shalia or members in the online classes. There are times where he tells her to shut up in the classes, and she very much plays it off, and she goes quiet because she's holding the front that this is how a relationship should look.
Right.
But it's not that. It's not.
Because he's
It's
the man.
not a
What he says
rational
so.
response that he's having to her. She was saying something, I don't remember, but it was something that wasn't inflammatory at all towards him necessarily. It was just a factual statement. And he was like, shut up. Don't talk about this anymore. I'm the man, I'm talking, be quiet. He literally said, I'm the man, I'm talking, be quiet.
Oh my God.
He would just insult people in class and tell him to shut up. He would call them rats, whiny little bitch, pussy, anything. And members, they wanted to be in good graces with each other. So they're often reporting each other to Jeff and Shalia. We've seen this before with cult dynamics. It's just something that naturally happens. I don't necessarily blame the people for doing it because it's a survival tactic. That's just
definitely. And the environment was created from the leaders, and they're trying to, like you said, survival tactic. They're if I turn in Joe Schmo, then I won't be reprimanded in front of everybody.
Correct. Especially if you've gone against them on something or you've spoken out and you're trying to get good rapport with them again. It's just something that naturally would happen. So okay, let's talk about money. They are raking in the money. Not the coaches, but Jeff and Shalia. Yeah. They, to this day, their net worth is in the millions.
I hate that.
They've got services still for like tarot and meditations, but it's all pre-recorded. So they're not having to do anything active. It's all passive income.
How can you, what is this tarot? How is that pre-recorded? You are supposed to have a lot of reading.
Questions.
As a person.
I just know
the cards.
It may not be the tarot ones, but I know for meditations and like they have music playlists too that they'll sell.
Spotify, it's fucking free.
True. And money, it means a lot to both of them. They have a huge house. He actually does a house tour on YouTube. It's still up.
Oh, I gotta see that.
They have all the fancy things. So many fancy cars. They want to make sure to not lose any money on things like taxes and paying employees. So they decide, let's make TFU into a religious organization officially.
God, tax the fucking church.
So we've had like spiritual aspects at this point. Like they've talked about God some, but now they're really honing in on this is a religion, a religious organization. So Shalia this is just the cherry on top. Shalia gets the idea from God that Jeff is actually Jesus, and he even does look like white Jesus. Like, you can see side-by-side pictures, and he actually does look like him. It's very odd. And so Jeff leans
But that's
into
not
this.
how Jesus looks, because Jesus wasn't white. Okay, guys.
No, you're correct. He just looks like the white Western
Americanized
depiction
Jesus.
of
Yes.
Jesus. So Jeff claims white Jesus is me. The image of Christ is me. The second coming is me. I am the second coming. I am here. Listen to me.
Bang my head against the wall.
Hey, Lacey, though, I have a solution for you, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
If you aren't receptive to this idea, and if the sermons, they're just not it for you, that's a personal block that you can heal with the mirror exercise. Don't worry about it.
Goddamn mirror exercise. I keep forgetting.
I know.
Oh.
So the church, they decided to call the Church of Union, and it was created as a nonprofit. It has branches. The branches are the following: Divine Dish, Divine Gaming, Divine Map, TFU courses, and more, which are all for-profit branches. So they have found a loophole to be a nonprofit that offers profit branches. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds wonderful. I love
Loopholes.
that. Love it for that.
They start life purpose classes. So this is aside from like finding your twin flame, but it still gears you towards the path of finding the twin flame, because once you fully reach your own path, you can fully resonate with them.
Yes. Okay.
You just have to get to your ultimate level of success in life. If you haven't met your twin flame yet, it's because you have not reached that level. So this is going to help you reach that level.
Yeah. So you need to do it. You need to do the work.
Spoiler alert, it didn't work.
No. Kind be shocked.
Most, if not all, the attendees of these classes found out that their life's purpose was actually to work for TFU.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And some would be speakers, some created content or ads, some did sales or video editing, customer service, coaching. So they've got a bunch of other job titles besides coaching and consultations now.
Okay.
To this day, they still have them.
Oh.
You can get your career on.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
But you won't be paid. No, you won't be paid. All courses and products sold by TFU are mandatory to be purchased and used by all who work for TFU. So it's not included. No, it's not included. You must, even though you work for them and use the content as like your job, you will have to pay for it out of pocket. But why do you need money? Your job is a higher purpose. You work for TFU.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I said MAP earlier.
Yeah.
Let me talk about that. So Jeff created a new program called MAP, along with a high-ranking military officer with a PhD named Chrissy Emerson. Let me be more specific on the PhD. It's a public safety leadership degree. This is a degree geared for people going into state or federal agency leadership positions. This is not someone that is a doctor, a psychologist, anything like that. You can have a PhD and not be a doctor.
Okay. Yeah.
Jot that down.
Exactly.
So the MAP is called the Mind Alignment Process. This is something we hit on in Nexium. It's sold to PTSD patients and trauma survivors going back into a traumatic event in your mind with a MAP practitioner. You freeze the memory in a meditative state, and then you clear it, whatever that means. This is not doctor approved. We've talked about it before.
Yes.
This does not work. If anything, it does more damage.
Yes.
And no one with MAP is licensed. Nothing about this is regulated in the healthcare industry at all. So it's like suggestive ideas and memories can be implanted to make people believe false narratives about themselves, their family, their friends. So it's just another program to the cult that targets hurting people and hurts them more.
I hate that. I hate it so much.
It's disgusting because it's marketed on a lot of Facebooks or blogs for survivors of trauma and military pages, VA stuff, which is horrific because
that's reliving
all trauma is horrible, but I don't know anyone that's specifically encountered action before. I hate to even call it action.
Yes, all trauma is bad, but there are levels. You
Uh-huh.
know, like there are degrees of trauma that it's a scale, you know, and so to target veterans who have some of the worst trauma, that you are actively promoting a program that will make them relive it, is diabolical, and you should
It
be
is.
fucking ashamed of yourself.
See, this is why I'm confused as to how they haven't been arrested, how no charges have been pressed against them. The only reason they've gotten away with this is because it's marketed as a clinical trial.
Yeah.
So with that, it's experimental. So it gets real blurry there. It gets real blurry because clinical trials can be really effective.
There's so much gray.
Yeah, they can be really effective or really harmful. And you've got to have a lot of really qualified individuals running it for it to go smoothly.
Yes.
And then you've also got to provide backups, safeguards for when it goes wrong, because
it's going to go wrong.
Yeah, you have to think about every factor involved with it, right?
Exactly. And I don't even care if this is something that is like has some kind of scientific merit in psychology to help. You have to have backups on backups in clinical trials when you're doing something like this, because it is going to go wrong. You're going to have cases where this is going to blow up, and you are delving into trauma with these people.
I have even worse news. It did go wrong.
I know where this is going to go. I already know it, and I already hate it, and I'm boiling. I'm boiling from the inside out.
One member that participated in MAP unfortunately did end their life, even after expressing several times to TFU that she was struggling. She actively did the mirror exercise as she was coached to. She was part of the MAP program. She put in her effort. She did, but it did not supply her with any needed resources. Mental health was just not taken seriously. And unfortunately, she did lose her life over that. And that hurts. That's like a new kind of cut in this whole thing.
I can see why she did that. I can see clearly.
There's no blame. There's no blame for any of us here at Deadly Faith. Like,
absolutely no.
I wish it had been different. I wish that this person was here. I wish they had received what they needed, because they deserve that.
But
the fact that she expressed to them that she was struggling, and she was pretty clear with what she was struggling about. And she did not receive the care that she needed.
It was always pointed back to
yourself.
Are the problem. You need to do this. You need to do that. And so if none of this that you're doing, that you're being told to do, that is supposed to help, is not helping, it's you. It's you. You're always going to go back to you. So if I am doing everything and it's not working, and it is really
then I'm not working, and it really is like there's something inherently flawed in me. Yeah. I mean, how could you come to any other conclusion but that?
They should have charges.
I agree. So mental health, it's not taken seriously. It's not approached with any type of sensitivity or safeguards or any type of resources, even just saying, please reach out to a professional provider for this. None of that. Abuse within marriages is blamed on the wife. If your husband has mental health issues, he could work through it. If you were just a wife that was providing a stable and supportive and happy environment, yes, that's a quote. And this environment would let God's work come through and heal your husband. That's just not true. In any way you slice it.
No.
Straight up lies. And Jeff says that God picked this person for you. You must accept it. This is your destiny. It's your job to fix everything in it. Everything about that person, everything about yourself, everything about that marriage is your responsibility. And it all tends to fall on the woman.
Son of a bitch. I really hate this guy.
So in total, here's the formula. They will manufacture couples no matter how toxic. And then when they enter that partnership, it's something that you are completely responsible for. Be more disciplined, love yourself more, whatever that fucking means to them. Take our courses, give us your money, market your relationship as something successful, whether or not it actually is behind closed doors. Make sure that you don't let anyone see the cracks. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it, baby.
Most people in TFU had yet to reach harmonious union or even meet their twin flame, and they're still forking out money on classes. So Jeff and Shalia, in order to keep good on their profs, they're like, oh, you misunderstand. The twin flame is not a random person. It's someone within TFU. So like you said earlier, they're having to bring people in, right?
Yeah.
They're having to go out and meet these people. But with how many people that they have now in the universe, they're able to manufacture even more couples with more control over both the flames.
I also really hate that they're calling it the universe.
I hate it too.
Really freaking hate that thing. Like, so bad.
So, okay, this kind of goes back into Angie's story a little bit.
Okay.
But most of the single people in the group are women. Hardly any men had joined. So we don't have enough carrots in the stew, boy. And he is manufacturing heterosexual relationships because you can come and be queer and stuff, but like we're gonna decide who your twin flame is, and there is always a masculine and always a feminine, always.
So does he start putting chicks together?
Yes, that's what happened with Angie. So, like I said, he was like, "You're the masculine one. That's why it didn't work out with the guy. So you're gonna enter into a relationship with a woman. She's feminine, and you're the masculine. You will transition." So.
It is giving, like, how people will ask, like, gay couples, like, which one's the female and which one's the male, and that whole bullshit. It's giving that.
Yes, which is super, I don't know another word besides just toxic to the queer community, because this is already one of those things that we're actively fighting against, you know? And it's reiterating a lot of these stupid myths. And
for a little brevity for the moment before we keep going, there was a Reddit story that I read that was fucking hilarious. This guy was basically asking if he was the asshole because he was maliciously compliant with who's like about 15, 16 years old, and he's getting into that age where he's just like a little asshole. How you are at that age. And him and his partner are, of course, they're gay. And so the nephew was like, so which one's the girl and which one's the boy? And he was like, neither of us. And he's like, no, there really is. There's a boy and then there's a girl. So they decided, instead of having an argue with this 15-year-old little twat, they were like, oh my gosh, I never knew one of us had to be the boy and one of us had to be the girl. Let's figure this out. And they get out a piece of paper and they start writing down all of their feminine qualities and all their masculine qualities. And then all the other adults came over and they were like, oh, I've always been wondering about us too. And they're like straight couples. They're like, oh, but you have some. And so then it just becomes this big thing. And
so
everyone's like
confusing and like
everyone's laughing. But the teenager was like,
oh shit,
super embarrassed and everything. And they were like, was I the asshole? And they're like, no, he learned a lesson. Pretty for sure. Awesome.
And a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
So thanks for sticking in this long, because I know that I'm going over on time a bit, but I'm almost done here. So in 2021, Jeff and Shalia added a third flame to their personal relationship, a baby. They talked about her well before even being pregnant. They named her Grace and used IVF. Not because of fertility issues, but to ensure that Grace would be the correct gender, because they decided she was divine feminine, because they know all things, apparently. They said some really disturbing things about Grace, that she is celibate because she can satisfy herself with all the sex she needs. She is not to have any sexual relationships as she grows up apart from sex with God. The couple, since becoming pregnant.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
I just got the biggest amount of fucking ick.
Who thinks they're about their kid?
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Yeah. So the couple, since becoming pregnant, they're now rooting all their success in Shalia and Grace. So if members had issues or questions, made mistakes, it was hurting Shalia and Grace. It was killing their spirit. So they're just using them as like idols in this whole thing.
They are disgusting.
After some time, Grace had decided she did not want to come into this world, and Shalia announced that they decided to terminate the pregnancy because it was ectopic. Around the same time, in the shadows, Jeff was preparing to purchase a piece of land with an event hall and trailers to create a farm where they could all live together in Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. Members were told those who were of a certain income, which is at least $10,000 a month, would be deemed worthy enough to begin having children once they moved to the farm. And for couples that physically weren't able to conceive, they would have a sperm donor or a natural donor from another twin flame couple. You would not choose who the donor was, Jeff would. And these children would be called golden children. They would find their twin flames and the other golden children in the group.
Okay. Do we think she really had an ectopic pregnancy?
She really did.
Oh, she really did.
She really did. Yeah.
I think Grace heard what her mama and daddy were saying about her, and they said, "Fuck you! I ain't coming into this world."
I have
I'm
bad
gonna
news.
stay
Grace
right
is here
here
with us today.
Oh, God
Grace
damn
is
it!
alive. Yeah, Grace is 3 or 4 now. No.
Oh my God.
No. How old is she? This was 2020. I think she's almost 3 now, I guess. She's still a toddler. I looked at Shalia's Instagram to see what she's saying about Grace. It's all extremely convoluted, stupid, delusional.
Oh, this is so bad.
I can tell that this kid is going to have a lot to undo and is going to make a lot of money off the books that she'll write and the
Fuck yeah.
podcasts that she'll be on
Get your
and the
bag, baby.
movies. Because I just have to hope that she's going to see through her mom and dad. She's going
Yeah.
to see through this. And I really, really hope, I really hope that they don't hurt that baby. Like physically, sexually, emotionally, spiritually. I really, really hope they don't. Because they have put a lot of pressure on a baby that did not ask to be here, that did not ask for this. Like, I am very concerned for this child. And I'm just really hoping. Well, after the suicide and all the abuse, plus not being with your twin flame or reaching that harmonious union or having to transition to become someone else, a few of the members decide they're done. They saw that it was a cult. They were spreading their stories and information. And some of them still had access to some of the TFU platforms and documents and financial statements, things like that.
Nice.
So they were gathering up all that while they still had access to hand over to authorities.
Yes.
And to share online too. Parents of some of the members stepped up and were expressing their concerns online about the things that their kids were saying, the things that their kids were like doing, pulling away from them, saying really weird, delusional things. And Jeff and Shalia just labeled these people who left as enemies and haters. And he actually said some of them started reaching out to magazines and stuff like that. And Vice, which is a popular media outlet.
Yes.
Jeff says that the people at Vice are abandoning reality and calling him a cult leader.
Abandoning reality. They are not the ones that abandoned reality here, Jeff.
So I think Vice actually made, it's not just Vice, other websites and magazines and media outlets, they made connections about this group, how it looks a lot like Nexium did. And Jeff was worried about his members getting the same idea. So he had each of them watch The Vow, Seduced, like all those documentaries on it, and write essays on why he was nothing like Keith. But most of them had difficulty making the distinction and actually seeing, oh, you are like him.
That's hilarious.
So that also encouraged more people to leave, thankfully.
I love the backfire.
So I think he stopped after that.
He's like, oh, shit.
He's like, ah. So
we are 2 peas in a pod. Damn it.
Like I said, at the time, no charges have been made against the group or the leaders. It was just, like, honestly heartbreaking hearing these people tell their stories. I'm grateful that they did, but you can see how difficult it is for all of them. I've never seen so many people that just, they look broken when they talk about it because they realize they were victims and also abusers to each other.
Yeah.
They coached each other to do horrible things and say horrible things. And there's a weird holding multiple truths all at once. And you were close with these people. You considered them family and close friends. And then suddenly it's all ripped away from you and you lose almost everything. You lose your career, your marriage, your friends, the people that you confided in. It's a very emotional documentary, and I really do think you should all watch it. But I am glad that at the end of the documentary, you do see a couple of them actually make amends and still speak with each other and help support each other on the way out.
Yeah.
So that is the good news, that a lot of them are receiving help that they need and have left those toxic twin flame relationships, marriages.
Thank the
Unfortunately, now they're starting over their life. So starting from scratch, it's just really hard, and I'm wishing them all the best. This is an active group still. Okay. So if you have any information on this group or its affiliates, please report it to the authorities. I don't care how small the information seems. Please report it.
An
Please
authority,
talk about it.
a former cop told me one time that, because he asked us, it was this like group setting, have you ever seen something in public that just seemed off to you? And you had the thought, I should call that in to the cops. Like, I don't know what's going on, but something seems off. Like,
Yeah.
I should call this in. And a lot of people raised their hand. And then he asked, now,
Did you do it?
who actually did it? And, you know, I'd say probably 60% of the people kept their hands raised. And he said, I think it was a really high percentage. He said like 85-ish% of those calls that come in of suspicious activity or whatever usually lead to an arrest or charges of some sort. Because his whole point was reminding us, listen to your gut. Like, it's there for a reason. Your intuition is there, and it's very important. So when you
can trust yourself.
Yes. So all that to say, if it is something small, like, it could seem small to you, but when authorities get a hold of it and actually look into it, it could be a whole lot bigger.
You could be saving someone like Grace. You could be saving some of these people that lost their lives. You know, if you see something, say something.
Yes.
You know? It's as simple as that.
I don't know if anybody from the Twin Flames cult that actually has left will ever listen to this, but if they do, I just want to say thank you for sharing your story. If you were one of the ones that did on the documentary or have shared it on social media in any way. If you haven't shared your story, you don't feel pressure to. You don't have to. There's no judgment for you to. You don't have to. But
we're proud of you for getting out.
Yeah.
Regardless if you want to talk about it now or not, we are grateful and proud that you left.
Yeah. And the courage it takes to go from leaving to actually telling your story on a public platform, whether that's on the show or on social media, is a huge step. And it takes an insurmountable amount of courage because the internet and society are fucking brutal.
It's brutal.
Especially when it comes to cults.
Yeah.
We here are understanding for the most part. There's times when we're like, I just don't get it. But for the most part, when it comes to cults, we understand how easily people can get duped into these things. No matter if they have a high school degree, no high school degree, or a college degree, or whatever. It doesn't matter what your background is. Anybody and everybody are vulnerable.
Be tricked when you're on the path towards trying to make your life better, trying to save yourself, trying to get something like love, money, a lot of things that are just important to us, safety, healthcare. These are just basic things that we just want, and it's okay to want them, and it's okay to pursue them. And it's people like Jeff and Shalia that they pervert the path and they lure you into something that gives false promises, false hope. And there's no shame in getting tricked. Okay.
Yeah. No,
We've all
even
been tricked before.
Sarah,
And
yeah,
Sarah Edmondson.
she has said, when I was on the with her, she said something that I was like, girl, that is so true. She said, I always say to people who say I would never join a cult, or I would never be tricked into joining a cult. She always says, you are the most vulnerable
You're the
population
ones.
to them.
Yeah.
You're the ones, because if you aren't aware of cults and of their dynamic and of the ability that anybody can get sucked in, you're the one that's going to get targeted. You're the one that's vulnerable and can get sucked in.
Don't
And
be
I
so
was like,
prideful
oh,
to think that
yeah.
you can't fall, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, this one pissed me off.
Same. Inflammatory in all the ways. Inflammatory.
All the ways.
Yeah. Let's take a turn and talk about something nice now, because it's been an hour and a half torture.
Yes.
Here's something really funny that happened the other day.
Okay.
Rumble, my dog, he comes into the bedroom when Andrew is changing his pants, and he has taken off his pajama pants, and he throws them onto Rumble's back. And Rumble always needs to be like touched and pet
Yes.
and like held. He's very needy.
He's a baked bean.
He loved the pants on him because it felt like something petting him,
It was his
touching
wetty
him.
blanket.
He walked around with it for far too long before I took it away, and he was not happy.
We need to get him a sweater.
He needs a sweater.
He needs a little sweater.
He wore a bumblebee costume sweater one time because he's a rumblebee. But yeah,
I'm a baked bean costume.
he is a baked bean. So yeah, that was just really funny to watch him waddle around with
I love
Pokemon
Pajama
sweatpants. Yeah, on his back. And he was just like, Mama,
This is
this
the
is
best."
good.
I like this. Oh my gosh. This isn't my palate cleanser, but my Molly has been sleeping in our room on her bed, and I washed their blankets, and they've just been in the basement in the dryer for days. And after 2 days of waking up to her pawing at her bed, I finally, before bed one night, I went, oh my God, I'm just going to get your blanket. And now she doesn't do it because she wants her blanket, and she like moves it where she wants it, and then she'll lay down. I'm like, you are so much. Okay. It's funny because we're switching gears, me and you, tonight, because I'm coming at you with some good news. It's not from the Good News Network, but I found this out, and I can't stop thinking about this because I think this is so fucking cool. Okay. They have found a black mold at Chernobyl.
What?
And it is a fungus that can survive and thrive in extremely high levels of radiation, and it consumes radiation.
What?
Yes. Okay.
I'm down for that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Black mold.
Now, apparently it's been around for a while, but I am just now hearing about it. But in Forbes, they said that the black mold it might be actually healing Chernobyl by drinking radiation. Yeah. They have noticed back in the 80s, I think it was like the late 80s, they saw that this black mold was growing on the walls, okay? And then as the years have gone on and they've gone back in to check Chernobyl, they have seen that the mold is growing towards the reactor core. The reactor thing. Towards it. So it is and then they've like studied it, and it's actually consuming the radiation. So they think it might actually be what's coming up.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's so fucking cool that like
coming back to life.
If you leave it alone, if you leave the earth alone, it will
heals
heal itself.
It
and
does.
We even saw that in lockdown.
I was going to say, we saw that in the pandemic. I mean, it was amazing to see the earth is ready to heal itself at all times.
If humans will just go the fuck away. And I'm talking about myself.
Oh, God. She said, I'm going to opt out of the simulation now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, it's just like, oh my God, I love that. I just think the earth is so
That
cool.
is good news.
I love the earth.
That's very happy. Good news. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being here with us. You are important, and we're very grateful for you.
Yes. And before we head out, we have a fun little announcement that you guys have already been hearing about because we have an ad that we've been putting in our last few episodes for you.
True.
But our Patreon is growing.
Yes.
It's growing. We have added another tier. We have tier Skull, which is our basic tier that you can get access to all of our community stuff along with our Patreon or our potty podcast episodes. I went to say potty and then Patreon came out.
Yeah, Tier Skull, you get the potty podcast, our podcast where we shoot the shit, talk about whatever the hell we want to. And then you'll get blog posts from me. You'll also get early announcements and you also get to connect with your heathen community. So other listeners, plus you can talk to us on there too. We can talk about cases. We can talk about deconstructing our faith, leaving cults, things like that. It's just a safe space for everyone. And then Tier Coffin, that's our newest one, which is super cool. You get access to all that stuff from Tier Skull, but then also you get access to our live monthly stream.
Yes. Once a month.
Yeah.
We're going to go live. And it's going to be anything and everything goes.
Yes.
We're going to talk cases. We're going to talk life. We're going to talk whatever. And you guys can just jump on, ask us questions and in the chat and just all that fun stuff. You'll have access to that.
We can all talk to each other. It's anything goes. Literally anything goes. We can play games, whatever. So
you have that burning question about whatever we do at night in our dark pajamas. I'm just kidding. You can ask away.
I mean, you can ask.
I don't know where that was going, but I just went random with it. Anyways, you get my weird ass and Lola's weird ass for an entire hour or so of a live stream. So go hop on over there.
Check out in the show notes. Our Patreon link is there, and you can check out both tiers and super affordable, like literally super cheap, because we're not into robbing people.
No.
It literally just helps us create more content. That's it.
We're just trying to break even.
We don't make a profit, guys.
We still don't make a profit.
Yeah, we
will get there, and we do want this to be our full-time job, and that'd be great. If you want to help us create that dream and bring you more content.
Yeah, to be transparent, we really do want to put out more, better content all the time for you guys. We want to do more cases, but it does take a lot of time and effort and resources to research and record and do all that stuff. Plus, we love to treat our editor right. He's part of the Deadly Faith team, Eric Howell, the podcast doctor. If you or anyone that you know has a podcast and needs someone to edit it, because editing, good Lord, that's a chore. Someone that can do it so effortlessly with such great quality. Good Lord, we sound like shit without him. Like to be real, we
agreed
would not have the success that we've had so far, the quality that we've had without the podcast doctor, Eric.
Yeah.
So,
and as he's listening to this, he's blushing right now, guys. Just
he is on TikTok. He is on Facebook. I think his email is thepodcastdoctor@gmail.com.
The podcast is, or not podcast, his email is always linked in our show notes. It is permanently linked in all of our show notes. It's always there. So
if you need like a consultation about podcast editing stuff, just hit him up through his email. Anyway, shameless plug there. With that, guys, please stay safe, stay skeptical,
and steer clear of the cultish carousel.
Bye.
Bye. Also, heathens, if you're enjoying the show so far, like, subscribe, do all the things. Show us the love, and we show you the love back by giving you more episodes. And like we said in the show, join our Patreon because we love you and you love us. Deadly Faith Podcast is brought to you by Choircast Network. It is produced by Lacey Bean and Lola Robbins and audio engineered by Eric Howell. Thanks for listening.